Hey everybody, I'm Ashley. This is Weekend Hero, and I'm in my kitchen today. Um, I got a small project to do, and it involves my pantry. This is our IKEA pantry, and right now it's sporting a beautiful pine color. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get this pantry to look like this. Um, We're trying to get this dark wood color instead of this pine. This is prepped already to be painted on any color, or so IKEA says. But I'm gonna, since this is bare wood, I'm gonna try staining it. So obviously, that takes time. This video is gonna take me probably a couple of days. So let's get started. Alright, so I'm gonna be staining, well I bought this at Home Depot for a couple bucks. I think weathered oak, or this color, what they call weathered oak, kind of matches the table. Let me see if I can get it on camera. Let's see, weathered oak. So I think, I'm gonna zoom you in. So if I give it this color, it should kind of match the table over there. If not, I'll give it a couple coats. But first I gotta test it out, right? So which is why I bought the small can. So I'm gonna test it out on the top of this shelf, just because you can't see it if I mess up. So it's like here, it's just probably just pop right off. And it's off. Alright, so I got the top shelf, can of stain, and a brush I just found in my garage. Obviously, piece of wood on the bottom so I don't paint the floor. Not that it matters because it's kind of already ruined by me. Alright, let's give this thing one coat of stain and let it dry. See what it looks like. Already made a mess. Oops. I should be wearing gloves. Maybe next time. So this looks gray to me. I'm gonna mix it a bit in there. Just keep making a mess. Doesn't really matter. Weathered oak. I don't think so. You guys tell me. But this looks gray. I'll take a bit. Let's give it a splash right on this. Light source. Let's see if I can get it to put it over here. Okay. I'm gonna close this mess I made. And so, I don't know, guys. That looks great to me. Truly, I gotta let it dry first. Let's see what the color it takes, and then we'll match it over there. Alright, so I went to Home Depot and I changed it for this thing called, see if I can get it, zoom, well, it's called Flagstone. Mixed it up already. I'm gonna try it out because that looks great. So I'll put this Flagstone, I'll put this Flagstone, of course I got it on me already. Forgot about little gloves. I'm gonna put it on this side, see how this looks. It's already looking better. That looks brown. Alright. I'm digging that color. way more. So obviously if I pass it over the gray, or the, well, what was gray, it's probably gonna blend into another color, but I just want to see how it kind of looks. So I don't know if you can pick it up on camera, but you can kind of see the brown right here, the gray on this side, and pine from this side. So I kind of like this brown. So I think I'm ready to go forth with the rest, painting the rest of it. All right, I'm back in my kitchen. We put a tarp down, as you see right here, put a tarp down. Got everything off the pantry, and it's everywhere in my house right now. So I'm going to attempt to paint this without disassembling it. Well, not paint it, I'm staining it without disassembling it. And if I have to, I'll take some parts. I think I'm gonna have to get this out in order to get the edges, but I'll try. So this is my test shelf. I wonder if I put it further away, you can see it. So this is the gray. I hit it the first time, didn't like it. It actually looks great. This is the new one, the flagstone color. And as you can see, it kind of resembles better with the table. Like if I flip it around, sorry, this gray obviously looks very different to the leg. So I'm going with the flagstone stain, which is going to complement the table. I'll check back with you guys once I get some progress on this. All right, just to catch you up, I'm wearing gloves this time. Woo, love the gloves. I started painting, so the way I went about it is took the top shelves off just because they were too tall, high up there, so I couldn't get comfortably on top to paint them. But this is what it's looking like right now. So that is the new color compared to the pine. I think it's great. And the top shelves, I got a little working station. Don't mind the little path, that's just in case I'm walking around with the can. This are layered already. You can see that there. You can see the patch of where I had painted the last time. So if you do 2 coats, it's gonna look like that. But that's gonna go on top. I'm only gonna do 1 coat, so I get that effect and not a patch. This is gonna go on the top of the pantry, so no one's gonna see this one. You can actually see where the gray was and the brown and the second pass over here. And this is all first pass. So I want it all to look like that. Perfect. And another thing, these IKEA things have these plastic pieces, which I painted over a little bit. So I went ahead on this one, I painted the whole thing, and I'm gonna see later when it dries up if I can like wipe it down with alcohol or do I have to leave it patched, because this is what it looks like after I'm done painting. Not nice. So I hit this one up completely and hoped that I'll check if I can wipe it off. If not, I'll just do all of them like this. Again, if you're working with stains, depending on how many passes you do, you can get a darker or this light one where you can actually see the grain of the wood. So keep that in mind when you're staining, right? 1 pass, I can see the wood, it's nice color. 2 passes and I start looking like a solid color, especially if like start mixing colors. I'm gonna get back to work. All right, I want to say like I'm halfway through, maybe. So this is what I got right now. As you see here, maybe the lighting is not the best. I'll go for this side. You can see it's taking shape. I wish you can see the color, but you kind of can see it there. It looks lighter on the top, but that is a warm light, so it's lighting it up. It should look browner, like that, like this. It's looking brown. Again, that top portion looks light. It's literally because the light is hitting it. If I go to this side, you can see how it's all like uniform and it looks the same. Actually, let me try to turn off the light. Light turn on. All right, better. Turned off this light. Now you can see it's still wet, so it's a bit dark, but it's all looking awesome. So I just hit the bottom part of his legs right here, this whole section. So that's getting dried up and it's looking great. And as for over here, these are looking great. Still waiting for them to dry up. I'm gonna give it another hour or two because it is stained, and I either flip them, but they're still tacky, I'll probably just prop them against the wall and paint the underside. Hopefully I can get all this painted up by this afternoon so I can leave it drying overnight. I am gonna have to, once this dries up, the reason I'm doing is I gotta dry this thing dry up so I can actually disassemble this cabinet thing right here, so I can actually get in between these edges so you don't see the pine, because I can't just put a brush and stick it in there. I'm gonna get runs. Well, that's another thing. I'm no professional painting or staining, but I do know, because this is not my first time staining, you should not have runs. If you let something run, which is the reason why I took all the I decided to take all the shelves off, is that I was letting things run in between where the shelves were going, and if I let those runs, you let them dry just a little bit with the run, it doesn't have to be even fully dry. If you let them dry just a little bit with the runs will come through when you're final, like when you're done staining, you will see the runs. So always keep brushing until you have no excessive liquid. You can see there's no excess on him. That's all I gotta say. So I'm gonna take a break from this, let it dry up so I can disassemble the bottom part and flip the other cabinets the other way around. See you later. Okay, so it's been quite a few hours since we last spoke. I think maybe about 4 or 5, but I finally got everything disassembled. So the posts are all painted up. I'm just waiting for them to dry up. Check it out. Let me see. Oh, I got a mess. But now they they match better than pine. That's for sure. So if we go over to the garage, and everything's painted on one side only. So all these and these two over here were the first two I painted. So I put them aside because they were kind of dried up already. Yeah. There's still some wet spots, but those for the most part are ready to go. I'm just gonna wait so I can paint all of them at the same time. There's one on top of the recycling bin over there too. And this I painted inside and out, took the shelves out, and also painted the inside all around. Perfect. This guy, so now all of them match. I just gotta like pancake them over and do the opposite side. But it's now just over 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I thought I'd be done with this, but quite not yet. So my idea is right now, I'm probably gonna wait a little longer. Maybe it's 5. I'll pick this up back up like around 9 or something, just to make sure that everything is dry. And if I have to wait longer, I'll wait longer. So I can flip them over, paint the backside, leave them overnight, and tomorrow morning reassemble it completely. I just want to make sure it's super nice and dry when I put like a coffee machine on it or the toaster or any notebooks and whatnot, that the stain doesn't transfer over to the objects. So we'll pick this back up later on. Hey everybody. Oh God, I'm tired. It's now 10:30ish, possibly closer to 11. I had to do some errands, but now I'm back home and ready for round 2, where I'm going to tackle the backside of all the shelves. I'm gonna try to get this done quick and go to bed afterwards. It's just past 12 a.m. I'm finished with everything, painting everything. So I just propped them all kind of against the wall, standing up. on the along the plastic edges. That way they can all dry and the other side is not constantly on top of wood or one of these towels, so it doesn't like stick to it. I want them to dry for about, was 12, so at least 9 hours straight. So they're gonna really soak in. So they're all around my garage, just drying out. This thing's been drying for about 9 hours. This is like fully dry at this point. But I can't put the shelves on, so I guess it gets another 9 hours of drying. I think the color came out awesome. Like you can actually see that this already, that chair is actually not part of this set, but it's dark. It's dark wood. That's the whole point. Right. So this video is gonna go for a day 2. Tomorrow, hopefully everything's dry, and by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I can assemble everything. This is a good night for now. Morning, everybody. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. Everything's here, had enough time to dry already, so everything's kind of like dry to the touch. So I'm gonna start assembling the pantry and placing it back in its original location. Hey, I just wanted to give a quick example of what happens when you don't dry completely. I remember saying yesterday that you should make sure you go over and over a same location or same spot when you're staining, because you could get runs, and you got to make sure you get the runs painted, brushed off. And this is a quick example of that. So if you look right here, right under this, that right there is a run. Now I can't correct that. I probably sand it down and try to paint it again, but I can't correct that. And here is another example. So I probably got stain accumulated along this edge, and it slowly dripped and created essentially this run. Luckily for me, both of these face back, and I made sure to concentrate on the forward facing things, so there's no runs in the front. Yes. All right, I finished the pantry. So here's how it looks. All right, so now with the pantry done, that does it for my pantry wood staining video. And I'll wrap this video up. Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out my next video. This was Weekend Hero.